Hello and welcome to Tea Leaf Readings. My name is Lenor and today I'm going to be reading your tea leaves. This is a horoscope for Pisces. If Pisces is your solar, lunar, ascendant / rising sign, then this is a message for you. All right, let's get started. And so we have the 5 of Swords today, which has everything to do kind of with defeat, with being in a mode of competition, kind of trying to maybe go for the same, I don't know, maybe you're dating somebody or trying to date somebody and there are other people who want to date this person and you're in competition. You're one of their suitors. Maybe you're going for the same job, position, something like that. I don't know, but this is that energy, right? Now in the Thoth deck, it does have to do with a defeat within this work that you are doing. With your goals and intentions maybe not coming to be, at least not in the way that you had hoped for. But we'll see what these tea leaves have to say. Sometimes they say, yeah, that's the energy. It's around, but it doesn't really have anything to do with what we have to say. All right. So if you haven't subscribed, please think about doing that. You can hit the little bell. It'll let you know when the next readings are coming out. It is free to subscribe. If you'd like to leave a like or a comment, that's helped the channel as well. Okay, let's go ahead and start. I want to look at it. This looks like a clock to me. Immediately, it looks like a clock. It also looks like a skull. Okay, you can see maybe the face of the clock, the arm, maybe some of the numbers. Also looks like a skull with the eyes, the nose, the mouth down here. Okay. So these two things kind of, as far as symbolism go, they coincide with one another. We know from the old imagery of Kronos, who is the keeper of time, also Saturn. It is the god Saturn. And now I think Kronos is the Greek version of Saturn. And Saturn would be the Roman version. Okay, same guy. But we also know that Saturn is kind of the archetype or the imagery that later turned into death, right? Death, walking around with a what are those called? Like a egg timer or the hourglass, an hourglass and a scythe. Okay, used for harvesting, and so again, very much related to time, death, the passage of time, our mortality, and so on. So I feel like this is something that has, I think, been coming to the forefront of your mind. We all kind of exist to some degree. Kind of serving what they call the death drive. And so what this is in psychology, it is the idea that almost everything we do is related to our fear of death or trying to avoid death, trying to survive. So you can imagine, yeah, we're animals. We have a survival instinct. We are avoiding death. If we understand what death is or not, it is kind of built into us to try to persevere, right? And so, yeah, I do feel like this is a time where you have been thinking about what has your life been? Have you accomplished the things that have been important to you? Did you accomplish them and get to that place and realize this doesn't mean what I thought it does? Or maybe you felt quite fulfilled. If so, then you're lucky, right? But I do think that there's this kind of reminiscing, going back over, maybe some nostalgia, a sentimentality about your life and your times and so on. It could be that it is the season for such things, right? If you are in the southern hemisphere going into winter, it's, everything's kind of a little bit less vibrant, I would imagine. A little cooler, maybe raining quite often. And then, here in the northern hemisphere, I don't know what it is about summer. I love summer. It makes me very anxious. I have such just kind of almost a manic feeling constantly, thinking I'm not doing enough. I'm not enjoying the weather enough. I'm not outside enough. I need to hurry. But for whatever reason, you would think that most people, I would say, if you have any kind of seasonal affective symptoms or if you have SAD, seasonal affective disorder, here in the north, pretty much everybody has it, right, during the winter because we're lacking so much vitamin D. But for me, and I know that there are other people that feel this way, in the depths of summer, when it's very hot, very humid, that is a different kind of depression. And I really do sometimes find myself even more so kind of questioning, what does this all mean? What am I doing with my life? Have I gone the wrong way? Did I make the wrong decisions? And so, I'm looking at this and I'm wondering, are you being visited with this kind of energy? Just a little bit, is there a feeling of time ticking away? Is there something that you've been wanting to do that you kind of, maybe need to get to that? I don't know what it is about our procrastination as humans. I think sometimes we like the discomfort of it, if we realize it or not. There are plenty of things in my mundane life that I keep putting off for no reason. It doesn't serve any purpose to put it off, except for I have anxiety about it. And, maybe it is a little bit of self-punishment. I don't know. But I feel that there is this energy, not a gloominess, but definitely a bit of an existential moment here. Okay. Now, let's continue on. Let's see what else do we have going on. Now we have a person standing right in the middle here. You can see the head kind of raised, looking this way. We have the body here. It looks like maybe wearing a dress or some kind of robe or apron, and kind of gazing upwards. Now we have right behind the Road Runner. Okay, so if you remember the Road Runner from the Looney Tunes, kind of silly and quick and goofy and all that. In real life, they look like little dinosaurs, right? And they're very cute when they run. And so as far as symbolism goes, it is this sense of hurriedness, right? Getting going, get it moving. And I do feel there's something there. There's something really kind of beginning to eat away at you. And I don't know exactly what it is, but it feels big. It's not like I haven't taken the trash out in 2 days, and if I open that, the top there, it's going to stink. I better, get to it. I don't think that's what it is, but it feels like something bigger. I kind of almost wonder if this is like going back and telling somebody something, right? I get this image in my head of maybe a beloved, maybe an ex or a lover, or, you know, somebody you were once married to, or, you know, whatever it was, you were in a courtship, or maybe it was just that you had feelings for them and you never really expressed that. But I do feel like there's this certain kind of tangling of the heart, right? And it seems like there is this real kind of swift energy moving through your life right now that is kind of, yeah, like pushing you towards, let's get this done. Let's do this thing. Maybe I need to go back. Maybe it is about making amends. Maybe it is about being open and honest about something. Maybe it is that you just need to say your piece once and for all, right? To kind of, and it's cathartic. It's sometimes we just need to get it out of us. We carry around these, you know, things that we've been wanting to say for a long time. And we've practiced it a million times and we've gone over the scenarios. This is what I would do if I saw that person again, you know, and then it comes down to, well, at this point I need to do something, right? Because I feel that it's living inside of me. It's taken up residence in my psyche, right? And that maybe is not something that you want to deal with any longer. And I don't blame you. I absolutely don't. There's something very nice about going to bed at night knowing that you've been honest about things. It's not even honesty. You've let things out, right? You have nothing to be ashamed of. You have nothing that you're hiding. You have nothing, you know, when you've made a misstep and you said something wrong or you've hurt somebody's feelings or whatever, and you haven't taken care of that. You haven't gone and said, I'm sorry. That was my bad. I shouldn't have said that. I should have been more thoughtful, right? When you can go to sleep at night knowing that you have none of that stuff hanging over your head, it feels pretty good. It really does. So I feel like this is kind of this calling, and it feels like it's been building up. Now, we have it. I'm looking at it and I'm thinking this is either Scorpio or Virgo. Now below we have somebody who is carrying plates or some kind of food. Okay, so I'm wondering if this is somebody that, I don't know, this might be somebody you're married to, this might be somebody you're in a relationship with, it might be mom, it might be dad, there's this sense of they have played a role in your life, not as a caretaker so much as somebody you build with. And you both kind of, you carry your own weight here. Right? But you have a partner, you have this person in your life who has always, you know, really shown up. They've done what they said they're going to do. They work hard. They do probably go above and beyond. Sometimes it's kind of even like, hey, you need to settle down, slow it down because you're really going to burn yourself out. Do they listen? Probably not. But I do feel... I'm trying to see here. I do feel like it's like some kind of, I keep thinking it's like commotion. Like it's like almost in a hallway. There's like a lot of noise, you know? Like if you're at a party or something and you're way down a hallway and you're not in the noise, but you could hear it. Kind of, you know, the reverberation of it. And I'm trying to think, what is this? It's like, and then there's another person carrying a plate up here too, right on here. So I almost wonder, now I've been a waitress for most of my adult life. I waited tables. And I wonder if you do catering, if they do catering, maybe it's a family business. Maybe it's something that you're thinking about taking over. Maybe they've offered you that. But it seems to be some kind of service work. That's what I keep thinking. But I'm hearing this commotion and I'm thinking, what is that? I almost feel like it's a sense of kind of being there at the party, but not being a part of the party. If that makes sense. Kind of like, like if you have ever worked a service job of any kind, or hospitality, or in, food service or anything, it's a weird thing where you try to remain as unnoticed as possible, but just enough so they know that you're there to like help them with the customer with what they need. And so often you'll walk into situations where, people are having some intense conversations, or, they don't think anybody's listening and they say something that's like, ooh, wow. Or, that there is something very jovial going on, some kind of celebration, and you're taking in the energy of it, although you are not exactly part of it. And there can almost be a little bit of a melancholy with that, I think. Usually you're just hoping to get out of there soon, right? Hopefully this wraps up pretty quickly and I can go home. But I think sometimes there's just a sense of, you wish you were there with your family, having a nice meal, having a party together. And I feel like I almost feel like this is something that is like kind of part of this person's personality. It's like they're always on the edge of a situation, even within the family. Now, have you ever had like a grandma or grandma or grandpa or mom or dad or somebody, right? And they make dinner and they've been cooking and this and that, and they serve dinner, and then they go back into the kitchen before they sit down and eat. They go into the kitchen and they start cleaning up. And it's like, okay, well, most of the time, yeah, if that's abnormal, you would wait. But then if it's something that happens all the time, of course, you're going to start eating, and then they join you sometime in the meal after they're done cleaning up. And even when you're saying, Mom, come sit down, come eat with us, I'll be there in a minute. It's kind of this feeling, if you can understand where I'm going with this. A sense of not being the maid of the family, although sometimes, yeah, as a parent, you feel that way, right? But a sense of being there, but kind of not being involved directly with the thing that's happening. And I feel like, this is maybe something that bothered you about the way that they've had to live. You would hate to think of your mother as somebody who is just waiting on people all the time. When you're young, it's like, whatever. Mom feeds me and she cleans up after me. She makes my bed, all of that, right? But as you get older and you start to know how much work goes into keeping a household while working and taking care of everybody and knowing what they need, anticipating and all this, you begin to realize, like, you don't want that for your mom necessarily. Maybe she loves the work, Okay. But you want your mom to be sitting there having the meal. You don't want your mom, taking care of other people's stuff. So I feel like this is it. It feels like a shift, okay? And I feel like this is a time where you're kind of stepping up in this role of like having to take care of those who have taken care of you. And like I said, this could be about a business, right? Maybe they have a business. Maybe you already work there, but maybe you're taking on a larger role. It could be about the household though too. Maybe they're getting older. You got to start coming over and doing stuff. Maybe even, begin to plan what happens when they can't live by themselves. These are difficult things to think about, and they're difficult decisions to make. So, I feel like this is something where it's really important for you to be talking to your support people, getting it out there, saying what you need to say, not bottling this up, not just trying to be, the tough one that can take all the stress and not complain about it. Sometimes you have to let it go. You have to purge it. You have to say it. You have to do something to move that energy through and out of you. Now we also have an 8 right here. We have an 8. We have a smiley face. We have a 6 up here. And we had 41, right? 41 down here. 41. I remember seeing that. So we have 8, 6, 41. Now let's go over here and take a look. So we have an anchor right here. And that can sometimes indicate there's a sense of feeling almost kind of trapped in a situation. Like there's an anchor holding you in this place. And I think, what it comes down to when we have these parts of our lives where things are they're happening in a way where we have to become more involved. We're already busy, already have a million things, and now there's more to take on. Not that you're complaining, but it's important to have a plan, right? To have a plan, to be realistic about what's going on, how and what you can do realistically, not what you want to do for them, or whoever it is that this is that kind of needs some extra help, especially if this is a business, right? And you are not only trying to help take care of the parents, but also leaning into the business, and that's a lot, right? Those are two huge things. So being realistic about it and, taking care of your needs. I don't know what it is about our society. I don't know. I don't know what it is about our society where we believe, or at least we tell each other, right? We give out the messaging that you are winning in some way if you are underslept, overstressed, busy from the moment you wake up till the moment that you go to sleep, that you are, running around this, that, you have a million things, and not only that, and then to add stuff on top of it. I see this a lot in, because I have a daughter who's 4. So I'm around a lot of parents. And my daughter's in, activities and I feel like the amount of activities she's in is a ton. She's always got 3 or 4 different kinds of classes going throughout the week, right? Spread out throughout the week. There are some people that have their kids have 2 or 3 things going on in one day. I don't know how they do it. Not the kids. Well, yeah, the kids a little bit, but mostly the parents. You're working, you're running, you're doing that. And it's like a badge of honor if you are just losing your mind, I have so much going on. I haven't slept more than 4 hours, in the last few days. And that's like, okay, we applaud you for taking all this on. Well, no, it should not be that way. You have to take care of yourself. You have to put yourself first sometimes. Sometimes you have to say no. So, that's a fun one. Working on saying no to things. I know we have this whole, let's all just say yes to everything. For a few days, I'll say yes to everything and see what happens. No. How about say no to, not everything, but some things, right? No, I don't want to do that. No, I don't have the time. No, I'm too tired. I think that should be the challenge. But this is the thing, okay, Pisces, you know yourself well enough. You also just have this beauty within yourself to want to not only show up for others, but really be the rock that people need, right? And that's a wonderful instinct to have. But you have to be reasonable. Remember, consciously, like, where will this lead me? I'm sure that you've had at least once in your life a state of burnout. Being overly tired, not even depressed or having like a meltdown kind of deal. It's like you're just, there's nothing left in you, right? You're just falling apart all over. And everything just is not, like, it's like the food doesn't taste good. Everything seems like bleak in some way. You're just agitated or just completely, what's the word? Listless, I guess, or I can't think of the word. I don't know. Anyways, yeah, not able to really be yourself because you're burnt out. So make sure that doesn't happen, okay? Because I know you want to be there for your people. You absolutely do. And that makes sense. It does. Okay, we have the Wild Offering Oracle cards. And I'm going to go ahead and we're just going to flip through and I'm going to see, what does this have to say? All right, companionship. Oops. Companionship. When you fully bless and embrace your aloneness, you're ready for the ones who are meant to be with you. May I welcome the solitude, knowing it will open the way for all healthy relationships. Yes, I cannot stress how right this card is. If you watch my readings, I'm always telling you, live by yourself. I mean, I know it's hard to afford it anymore. I always lived in like tiny apartments by myself, studio apartments, 1 bedroom, little, half falling apart apartments. But listen, you have to for a little bit in your life. You know, I know some people get married really young, or they find their person really young, and they don't really have that that period of time. But if you happen to have the ability, you have the privilege of being alone and living alone, take it and thrive in it. You know, at the beginning, it can be kind of lonely for sure. But you know what? It doesn't last too long, at least in my opinion, in my experience. And it does. It opens up all of this space for yourself. And when you stop seeking connections to other people that are going to like fulfill these parts of ourselves, and we let that happen in our own little life laboratory, you know, we start creating the parts of ourselves that fulfill where we feel like we're lacking, where we're needing or wanting. It's amazing the kinds of people that you will attract into your life. It's not out of desperation. There's no worse way to find somebody than when you're in a desperate place. So, yeah, embrace it if you can. And I know it's a privilege to be able to do that, though. Believe me, I understand how expensive and how... I just laugh because I remember, especially when my first husband passed away and I was by myself, I had my cats. I was trying to figure out how to make more money so I could afford all my bills and feed myself and make sure the cats are fed. Well, my cats always ate first. 100%. They were number one. And I would sometimes just live off of ramen. I mean, legitimately. And I wasn't like in college. I was, you know, I was like in my late 20s, early 30s. And some of those were the best years of my life, I have to say. But... you know, it's not easy. So I know it's not. But yes, I definitely recommend to everybody, have that time for yourself. So Pisces, I love you. I thank you. If you'd be so kind as to like the video, it helps the channel. If you haven't subscribed, think about doing that. It is free to subscribe. If you want to leave a comment, please do. I listen to them all. And yeah, I think that's it. So I love you. Take care of yourself. We'll talk in a few days. Good night.